The gentleman yields back. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Jolly, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to recognize and congratulate the Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research Foundation on their 20th anniversary. To date, the Fisher Center has raised tens of millions of dollars in private funds in the quest to find a cure for this heartbreaking disease that affects millions of families across the country and around the world. Mr. Zachary Fisher created the foundation in 1995 with the single mission of finding a cure for Alzheimer's through scientific discovery. Since then, the research scientists at the Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research at the Rockefeller University, led by Nobel Laureate Dr. Paul Greengard, have made remarkable strides advancing groundbreaking research. But there is, of course, much more work to be done to defeat this debilitating disease. Mr. Speaker, as I rise to recognize the Foundation's leadership in the fight to cure Alzheimer's, I must also recognize Mr. Fisher's many other charitable endeavors that have transformed and touched the lives of those who serve our nation in uniform. Mr. Fisher was deeply committed to supporting the men and women of our armed forces and our veterans as well. In that light, he founded the Fisher House Foundation, which provides housing to the families of our veterans and our servicemen while a loved one receives medical treatment. Additionally, Mr. Fisher founded the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum in New York City. But the cause for which I rise today is to urge my colleagues once again, and to urge the nation once again, to focus on the profound need to increase Alzheimer's research, and to recognize the equally profound work that the Fisher Center has done to ultimately advance and find a cure. With 5.3 million Americans suffering from Alzheimer's, we must do more. Left unchecked, Alzheimer's will continue to dramatically impact countless lives and families across the country. And left unchecked, Alzheimer's could cost our nation $1.1 trillion annually by 2050. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to join me in the fight to find a cure for Alzheimer's. And I rise today to thank the Fisher Center Foundation for leading this charge by funding groundbreaking research to finally end this disease. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Sanchez, for 5 minutes.